Coburn, are you asked?
Wouldn't miss it for the world. Okay, well, your ideas, I'm afraid the EU's ideas for sustainable finance are nothing of the sort. The US is not interested in your non-commercial ideas of so-called sustainable finance because they are not commercially minded, as we should be. And Britain is certainly commercially minded, Americans are commercially minded, but you don't seem to be, and that doesn't help jobs. Also some nonsense about green bond markets, and today, you know, when the newspapers quotes from the EU Brexit report, that they're highlighting the risk of Britain undermining Europe as an area of high social protection. The examples given include Britain potentially relaxing emissions curbs on power stations, worker rights, and gaining a potential 4.7 billion gain for UK industry per annum in reduced direct costs by ditching EU emissions limits. For finance to be sustainable, I mean, I talk as somebody who spent many years in the City of London, for finance to be stable and sustainable, you need competition. You must have competition to have it sustainable, whereas yours is entirely protectionist. How can sustainable finance be helped by excluding the UK's financial services market, where Messrs Barnier and Verhofstadt, like it or not, Britain and the City of London is the financial heart of Europe. We are the bankers of Europe. Whether you like it or not, that is the case and will continue to be the case after we leave. The people of Britain and Europe want jobs, proper commercial jobs, not fantasy jobs, green jobs, all this sort of thing that are not based on commercial business. These things are not, they're just simply not sustainable. So when you talk about sustainable finance, you're living in another world. You're not living in the same world that China, that the Far East, that America, that the rest of the world, Britain, are living in. You're living in a total fantasy world. And what you will do is you'll bring down Europe's financial abilities. You'll bring your financial efforts down around your ears. And you will have unemployment, you'll have social unrest, and you'll end up with political mess here in Europe. Now, we're leaving. We don't want this to be the case. We don't want a financial basket case sitting on our doorstep. We want to trade with you. We want a powerful Europe that has money and can buy our goods and services. And we also think you should make sure that you have our financial services included. If you don't have our financial services, some of the Italian banks may slide over into bankruptcy, and that is hardly good for us. You need to make sure Mr. Verhofstadt and Mr. Barnier understand that financial services, British financial services, are essential for Europe.
On, maybe I shouldn't, but I can't resist the allegation of the fantasy world. I just refuse it entirely. My sense, and I have the privilege to work in a commercial company in a commercial sector, is that sustainable business means better business. For the insurance sector, this whole sustainability discussion has led to very rigorous thinking on how can we better protect firms against climate risks, how can we better invest in understanding of climate risks into modeling and so on, how can we better orient our balance sheet, how can we avoid stranded assets, where do we need to disengage. The level of debate, the level of awareness has risen, and sustainability business is simply better business.